The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
This morning we have Breann Titus with us from Community Action. Breann is, we love having her in the studio here, talking about all the new and different programs going on and current programs at Community Action. And welcome out to the Radio Ranch. So
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
So last time you were here, we were talking about Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
Yes.
So how did that go for
It was
Community
a
Action?
successful event. I think some of the conversation we had about it was that it was like kind of a slow start. The first year that we kind of felt like it was a little bit of a struggle to get our table sponsorship sold and to get some auction items in. But the community comes together, I think, especially in the end and time under pressure. And we were able to have a successful event. We were able to raise money and keep kind of towards our average, which is about $30,000. I was definitely relieved because I was definitely a little worried. Just because I've been doing this for so long. This is would have been my 8th year planning the event, and this was the first time we kind of struggled in the beginning. And so I was definitely getting a little worried that we weren't going to have very, successful event like we had in the past, but it ended up all good. So
That's
very
wonderful.
thankful.
Good.
Yes.
That's great. So what happened this summer? You guys had the kids that came in and
Yep.
were helping repairing and with the houses and all that. How did that program go for you guys?
So as you can tell, there's always something going on at Community Action.
Do some recaps for
Yes,
everybody.
it never stops.
Yeah.
So, yes, we were the co-sponsor this year for the Work Camp for Lincoln. This is the second time that we've hosted it here in Lincoln and Logan County. And we were able to repair or do home repairs or build wheelchair ramps on about 30-ish homes. And so we were able to help those people in the community. And typically your target population is your low income, elderly, disabled, veterans, people that even if they could afford to do the work, usually can't. And finding a contractor to do maybe just a small project is kind of hard right now. And so we would just send a group of kids over and say, hey, we need you to build a wheelchair ramp, or we need you to repair this porch. And sometimes it was just painting, and painting the home and, beautification of the property. And the purpose of kind of the work camp and mission is really for the kids to learn skills, but also to really learn how to interact with different generations of people. And so they try to get to know the homeowner in the process. And we always have super positive feedback about this project. And so we're looking to possibly do it again in 26. We'll see how that goes. But it's hard to turn down a project like this when you're doing good in your community and you're helping residents that desperately need it. And it's always nice to kind of go down streets after they've been here and see what the work they've done. And everybody can always use a little extra hand in that area. And why not, do some beautification in our town. So we'll probably stay tuned. We'll probably have some more information about that coming soon.
So for a refresher for our listeners, we did touch base on that the last time you were here as well. These kids are not all just from Central Illinois, are they?
Correct. Actually, rarely are they from Central Illinois. The first work camp that we did have a small group, all girls that were actually from a local church. And who wants to go to a mission trip in your hometown? Not very many. And of course, and we're competing against locations that have whitewater rafting and really cool things to do. And so we kind of have to step up our game a little bit and showcase what Lincoln has to offer. And so, because these people, they're from all over South Dakota, Virginia, all over the U.S. They come and they do this mission for us here in Lincoln. And so we do a little thing like their welcome night. It's kind of like a taste of Lincoln. And we have a lot of our local restaurants that we're known for, and they kind of do either an appetizer or a certain section of the meal, and they kind of get to taste all the different types of options. Because the hope is there's a day throughout the week they kind of have a half day. And the hope is that they would actually go in to some of the shops, go to the restaurants. So not only is there, the impact of helping the residents, there's also an economic impact because we purchase all the supplies locally. So we really try to bring in the support economy to Lincoln as well.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, South Dakota and out east came to Central Illinois. Not knocking Central Illinois, but you said we don't have any great creeks or
there's not a lot of really
awesome streams they're flowing
things to do. So like I said, you're competing against a lot of really cool locations. There's a lot of times they've done things on different Indian reservations, and so just from a cultural perspective, we have a lot up against us to pick Lincoln, Illinois. So we're just grateful for the groups that do select to come here. And there's always been positive feedback from the groups that have came. So
that's wonderful.
That's good that we've made it a good experience for them.
And then you mentioned 2026, so you're going to kind of skip 2025 then.
Yes.
Is that common to skip a year and then plan out for the following year? Is that how you do that?
We kind of use that as a fundraising year because we want to be able to raise as much funds as we can in order to help as many people as we can and to provide a great experience for the campers as well. So we kind of use a gap year in order to raise all the funds that we need. And then the year that we actually host it is when we work on the promotion of it, applications, approvals, assessments, getting the residents prepared for the group coming. And so it makes it a little bit of a healthier project when we have a year in between because in grant writing, sometimes you apply for a grant and you won't know for 6 months if you receive the grant or not. And so you have to kind of allow yourself time to know if those funds are going to be coming in.
So not to put you on the spot, again, I apologize, but
that's okay.
Roughly what does it cost, for the supplies to go out and, for all of these homes. What are you looking at for your fundraising then, for your dollars then?
So there is a minimum requirement that goes towards the national organization group missions that we partner with. They're the ones that kind of organize all of these different work camps. That has increased the last 2 years just because of supply cost. So our minimum commitment is $25,000. That covers all of the supplies, that covers all of the materials and things like that. We typically try to raise between $50,000 and $60,000 total. That helps with just some additional expenses. It also helps with their meals. It helps with any lodging that we have to do. It helps with if there's any smaller projects that kind of come up as we're in the homes and as we're working on the homes, that we can still go and purchase those supplies and make that happen. We actually had a situation this year that we did a little bit more work than we initially anticipated on a home because it needed it, and we had money in the budget to do that. It allows us to, bring in some of those additional experiences for the campers that we don't have because of our landscape. The Taste of Lincoln helps cover that as well. And we also have to have a lot of equipment rentals. We have to have a lot of ladders. So it just kind of helps cover all of the costs that are associated with that. And we have usually, typically a little bit of a buffer, which makes us feel a lot better just because you just never know when something is going to be more intensive than what you anticipate. If there is a bumper or a buffer of money, that does roll over to the next project. So that helps us towards the next one that we're doing rather than just kind of
starting from scratch
every time. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's great. So moving into I wore my sweatshirt today. It's a little chilly.
It is a little chilly. I'm not ready for it.
And Jim's got a collared long sleeve shirt on today too. So So speaking of the fall, crisp air, you've started rolling into LIHEAP then.
Yes.
So
just started yesterday officially. We did do a couple of intake days in September just to help with some of the elderly population kind of going to them rather than them coming to us. We do have some, I would say a significant change this year would be every appointment is going to be a phone appointment this year instead of having to physically come into the office. We're hoping that's going to be more convenient for some of our customers and just being able to do that application a little bit quicker and be able to get them the assistance that they need without having to have them come in every single time. And we're doing that in all of our counties. So something new we're doing this year, we're testing it out. But so far people have been pretty receptive from that, especially the ones that are working. Instead of having to take time off, they just need to be, lunch break by their phone. It's a less than 30 minute phone call. So they don't have to take off work like they normally would. People are going to need the assistance regardless of what time of the year it is.
Do you recommend that they schedule that appointment time for the phone call back rather than keep calling in? What do you recommend?
Yeah, we do recommend appointments and scheduling those appointments. I just booked some appointments yesterday, and some of the counties were out almost to November at this point with people that have already called in and scheduled appointments. There are some counties that do less days, so they're only there 2 days a week instead of 5 days a week. So Logan, we're actually there 5 days a week, and we're filling up quickly in Logan County. But we do encourage people to call to schedule an appointment, and then our staff will call them at that scheduled time to conduct their appointment. I do encourage everyone, and the phones are busy because everybody's trying to call and get an appointment. So we do have other ways to reach us. You can reach us through our live chat website on our website. You can reach us through Google Messenger. You can reach us through Facebook Messenger. So we have several different options that you can reach out to us to schedule those appointments rather than just having to call constantly after the other.
And refresh my memory, what counties does Community Action serve then?
Yeah, so Logan, obviously, DeWitt, Payette, Fulton, Mason, Menard. Yes.
So if I lived in Menard, for example, would I have to schedule that appointment with someone from Menard, or would I be like, oh, hey, the Lincoln office, being in Logan County, has an opening next week. I'm just throwing this out there, being facetious. Would I be able to make an appointment, with another office, basically, is what I'm getting at, or not? Or do I have to do it within that county that I live in?
So there's different options with that. We do filter all of our phone calls for every county through our central office here in Lincoln, and they will schedule those appointments out. With it being a phone appointment, we have some flexibility there. We may have, a different staff member take that appointment that maybe wouldn't service Menard County. In the past, we have had situations where if they are in desperate need of assistance, whether it be a disconnection notice, an emergency, we have said, if you can make it to our Lincoln office, we will do your appointment even though you don't live in Logan County. So we try to be accommodating as much as possible. I think doing the phone appointments, that will help some of that, where if we have an emergency or a disconnect notice, we can serve them a little bit quicker than what we have in the past.
How long does the program last, and when does it start up once the person is approved for the LIHEAP program?
So usually they receive their assistance to their account usually within 24 hours of their appointment. Obviously, if it's a disconnect notice, we do prioritize those so they can get turned back on, especially if it's during the winter months. A lot of times the utility companies will not stop turning off at a certain point if the weather's been cold enough. But it's usually a pretty quick turnover. We're hoping that with the phone appointments, it can be even faster than that. And every program year runs usually October 1st through July. This year it was supposed to run through August. However, we had exhausted all of our funds by the end of June. So I do encourage people not to wait until then, just because you don't want to take the chance that we're going to exhaust funds before the end of the program year, and then you're not going to be able to get assistance.
Right. What information do they need when that call does come, and what do they need to be prepared for, for that phone intake interview?
So they have to have their current and most current utility bill. They do also have to have their most current 30-day income, and they also have to have all the Social Security card numbers for everyone in the household. Income is also for everyone in the household. So even though somebody is the one paying the bill, if you have multiple people living in the house that bring in an income, we also have to document that income. So that can cause sometimes a little bit of an issue, just because maybe you have some grandsons living with a grandma, and the grandma's paying the bill, and the grandma's like, I can't pay the bill, but we have to take on that income. So we just kind of try to remind them that keep in mind that we're going to have to ask for all that information. Since we're doing phone appointments, there's going to be a couple of different options to send that information to us. They can either email it to us, text it to us, or they can drop it off at the closest location. They will have instructions for them during the phone appointment on which would be the best option for them.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to pay some bills, Jim. Speaking of bills and LIHEAP,
yes.
We'll be return here briefly after our break here in a couple of minutes.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
An accident or injury can happen any day. If you're living without health insurance, now is the time to find a health insurance plan to protect you and your family. New, low-cost plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, prescriptions, preventative care, and more. And you could get a tax credit to help you afford insurance. So call me, Dara Entwistle, 217-737-7581 to help you find a plan that's right for you.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in service, parts, and detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grau Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Welcome back to 96.3 Viewpoint. Feel free to call in if you've got questions about LIHEAP, Meals on Wheels, even if you want to volunteer. You don't know what's going on. You got questions, concerns. Right now we've got Breann, Titus, Utilizer. We have open phone lines.
Yes, absolutely.
217-648-5510. If not, you can call out to Community Action as well, and someone be more than willing to help you and direct you in whatever direction you need. While we were up there, we were talking about Meals on Wheels. Do you need... First of all, let's start off. Do you need volunteers or somebody to say, hey, I can maybe do 2 days a week or 1 day a week? I know you're not going to turn away a warm body that wants to help, or have their name put on the list. So you want to kind of talk about Meals on Wheels. Describe that to our folks.
Absolutely. So Meals on Wheels, we service all of Logan County, all of Mason County. Even the most rural people in the community would qualify to be serviced. And that is being able to receive a nutritious meal at their doorstep. We deliver 3 days a week, but they do receive 5 meals a week. So, and every once in a while, we do offer some additional shelf-stable items or maybe some freezer options just to kind of help them get through different times of the year. We have a campaign that's coming up that we assist them with that over Christmas, and we do provide each one of our homebound clients a blizzard bag, kind of call it off the whole winter theme, and it's just full of pantry items. It's full of different things that they can keep on their shelf and go to if for some reason they can't get out or family can't get to them, or maybe we can't get to them because the weather's so terrible. I don't think that's ever happened, knock on wood, at this point. But you just never know what's going to happen. And I just posted something on our Facebook page about that, where we have an Amazon wish list, and it's all of the items that are approved for these blizzard bags by our dietitian. And so if you want to support that campaign, you can go to our website, you can go to our Amazon wish list, and you can actually purchase those items. They come straight to our agency. You don't even have to go get them, and then we distribute them to our customers. We have over 250 seniors that we deliver to. We also have congregate site locations that we do for socialization. And up until recently, we had a wait list for the first time in many, many years. And because of some maneuvering in our fiscal department and some fundraising that we did, we were able to get those many of those people off the wait list, which has kind of been like our nutrition director's goal. She is not a fan of a wait list, especially when there's people in need, and we were able to save some money in some other areas in her budget and be able to put some of that money towards getting them off the wait list. And we did some additional grant writing and fundraising to be able to do that. So we're super grateful. And you can also always make a donation to Meals on Wheels through our website or just mailing a check. And that helps feed those people that are on the wait list and continue to be able to do so.
I kind of want to remind folks, you know, sometimes these seniors, that's the only person they see maybe for a week or 2 or 3. So it's kind of like, a health check, a wellness check,
Yep.
Whatever you may want to call it. And, so folks, if you do have some time, 1 day a week or whatever, you're, 1 day a week throughout the whole month even, give Breann a call out there and volunteer. It is a good thing. You're putting a
Absolutely.
smile on somebody's face, really.
Yes, and honestly, we have saved lives over the period that I've even been at Community Action, where we've noticed on those wellness checks that somebody maybe isn't feeling the best, or maybe in situations where we've gone to deliver meals and they don't have electricity. And we immediately call our LIHEAP director and say, what can we do for this person to get their heat turned back on or whatever. And so we really have saved people's lives by just doing these deliveries. And honestly, sometimes it's also the only meal that they get, which is sad, but sometimes it is the only nutritional meal that they receive, as well as that wellness check and that smile that they're getting from the delivery driver.
Yeah, it is a good thing. So coming up, what else do you have going on this fall? I believe we got some Halloween things possibly coming up.
So we host a trunk or treat every year at our Kickapoo location, which is our Head Start location 1 and 3, across from Growl Chevrolet. And that is October 18th from 5 to 7 p.m. There will be staff on site, just as kind of greeting the kids. If somebody is interested in Head Start, we do have some openings, and they can actually talk to the staff about that, even help through an application during the trunk or treat. So it's going to be kind of like a multifaceted event, but definitely come out. We want to see your costumes, and we want to talk to you and just have fun with that. And then one of our other big campaigns, end of the year campaigns that we have going towards Christmas. I can't even imagine that we're thinking that close, but it is October, is our Holiday Hearts for Kids. I want to say this is like our 5th year that we've done this, and it's gotten bigger every year. And this is making sure that children in our community have a gift for Christmas. We don't do like an angel tree. We just do one gift at a $50 value for every child that we have on our list. And so this is set up to where if you're an individual that wants to give, you can give just $50 to support one child. You can do more than that if you're able. If you can't do $50, anything helps. But this is also one of the things that has kind of happened the last couple of years is Eaton has done a fundraising event with their employees, and their employees contribute to a pot of money, and that money is donated towards this campaign for the kids. And so, if you're a business that's listening and you want to do that amongst your employees, if your business wants to donate money, there's lots of different options, but we want to be able to make sure these kids have presents, and we make sure that they're wrapped, we make sure they're delivered before Christmas, so that the parents can feel good about that, and we make sure that all the children in the family up to the age of, I think it's 16, have gifts. So if there's one child, like even our Head Start location, we make sure their siblings also receive a gift, just to make sure that they're all
taken care
all
of.
taken care of.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so we actually were able to serve 80 kids last year. So of course I'm hoping to at least meet that number, if not increase that number, to make sure that we can spread a little bit more joy this Christmas. So
It's wonderful.
yeah, lots going on.
You do.
Always. Always lots going on.
Do you have anything?
Well, I was actually doing research for putting graphics together for this show. Do you know what her official title is on their website?
I forgot. I did, but yes.
Chief Visionary Officer.
Awesome.
Yes, it's quite a cool title, I guess.
Well, I had a sister-in-law who worked at a resort in Arizona. Her title was Director of Fun.
I mean,
so
that's a
kind of a
great,
fun title.
yeah, it's a great title.
I was struck by that. Can you tell us what a visionary officer, what your duties are?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wear multiple hats, obviously, but a lot of it is just being innovative and being creative and looking at the agency where we currently are and coming up with different ways to not necessarily change things, but look towards the future, kind of meet our customers where they are. I do a lot of marketing. I do a lot of public relations. I educate the public a lot on what our agency does and where we're going, and just kind of keep ahead of the curve. Our website, I do website management, all of our social media, a lot of the fundraising. So there's just a big umbrella of all the things that happen. But yeah, I mean, I've always been kind of a creative person, and I've always kind of been a visionary, I guess, as far as looking at a big picture and kind of seeing the details that go along with that, and then trying to be innovative. I think nonprofits kind of get a bad rap sometimes, especially in the CAP world, that they are very traditional. This is how we've always done it. This is how we're going to continue to do it. Some of the things I think are a little bit old school, and we've always prided ourselves on being different, and really trying to think more business-minded than just nonprofit and social service, and really trying to encourage our customers to understand that, and also go to themselves like, okay, I don't want to continue coming here. I want to make my life different. I want to break this cycle. I want to figure out ways that I don't have to come back next year for LIHEAP assistance, which isn't typical amongst your social service agencies. And that's just the mindset that we have, and the mindset we try to instill in all of our clients and customers that we come in contact with.
I'll say one thing: the website is amazing.
Yes,
you've really have stepped it up, revamped it, and it's very easy, navigable, and user friendly. And so, I mean, that's a huge kudos to you guys.
Yes.
I know it's not easy.
It is not easy.
Not.
And actually, when I started this position, I had never done a website before. Social media on my own. I mean, and I wasn't raised in the world of social media like our kids are now. And so I'm self-taught. Everything is self-taught. This last website revamp, we did partner with Print Digital, so shout out to them. And they helped us kind of recreate this very clean, user-friendly interface. And most of that was like the mobile-friendly part of it. Because even though we were utilizing different website development systems and things like that, our mobile option was not very user-friendly. And we have, 85-90% of our customers and people that are reaching us, or we're reaching them, they're using mobile. And so we really wanted to make sure that was a focal point. And now they can schedule their appointments for LIHEAP on the website, themselves. There's so many different things there. So we're grateful that the website is the way that it is. But yeah, everything is self-taught.
Well, you're doing a great job at it.
Thanks.
No. So yeah, but nope. You got anything else or not? Need to turn her loose and let her get back to work.
She's got visions.
She's got visions.
I have visions to create. Yes. Well, it is that time of year that we're planning already for next year. And our strategic planning we had in July. We do that every year. Just kind of, really all of us leaders, our leadership team kind of goes into closed meetings, and we really assess the agency and kind of where we are, what programs are successful, what programs are really struggling, and why are they struggling? Can we fix it? Do we need to maybe look at something else? I
mean, a huge kudos to you. I've noticed it seems like community action, and I'm not knocking past, it seems like it has gotten more streamlined in the services, in the process of the services, etc. It just seems like, it's come a long ways.
Yeah.
And it does take a true team to do that. So.
Absolutely. And we do have a strong leadership team. We're all there for the right reasons. We all have a passion for what we're doing. And we really make sure that what we're doing is helping and is effective.
It's always evolving. I mean, really,
absolutely.
It's always evolving.
Yes.
So.
I mean, that was one of when we decided to close our food pantry. We got some backlash for that. Why would you do that? Well, we look at it from a lot of different perspectives. And when we decided to make that decision, based on how many people were participating in our food pantry compared to how much money we were putting in every month for the food pantry, based on, staffing for the food pantry, as well as other resources for food pantries in the community. All of that was looked at. All of that was dissected, and data was looked at before we made that decision. And we knew there was other resources in the community that could serve that need. And we weren't serving as many people as we anticipated doing that. I think some of that was because we also encouraged them to volunteer in order to have access to the food pantry. But the money we were putting into the food pantry, we felt could have been used better somewhere else.
Right.
So that's just the thought process that goes into every single one of our services and programs to make sure that we're fiscally managing it, we're being responsible with the money that we're getting, it's making sense, it follows our mission, and it's truly helping people. And even though we had a core group of people that were participating, it wasn't helping a larger number of people, and we were spending more money than what we really should have been. And so we had to make that hard decision. And so every year when we go through this is what we're doing. That's what we're looking at. Community needs assessment. We're looking at other surveys. We're looking at focus group data. We're looking at all of this information to make sure what we're doing is actually what the customers and clients and the community need.
The best way to serve the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and sometimes that comes with hard decisions and hard choices.
Yeah.
But we really are taking it seriously, and we're planning for next year. I just had to submit my milestones for next year about what my plan is for my department and what I want to do and what I want to accomplish in order to get to some of the core strategies for my department. And so a lot of people, I don't think when they think social service, they don't think strategic planning, they don't think milestones, they don't think about that, but we definitely are. That's a huge part of what we do. So I think we definitely make more intentional decisions.
No, kudos to everybody, to the entire staff and volunteers there.
Absolutely, we couldn't do it without the volunteers.
Yeah. So what's the phone number? Let the listeners know if they want to call and make their LIHEAP appointment, if they're not tech savvy, whatever it may be. What number do they call then?
Yep. So everything goes through our central office here in Lincoln. So 217-732-2159. And Elijah would be happy to answer the phone and direct you where you need to be or schedule you an appointment. But like I said, if you are tech savvy and you're having a hard time getting through the phones, which does happen.
There's other ways.
You could reach out. There's different forms you can fill out on our website that actually emails either some of our staff directly, and they can reply directly. Some go to me, some go to some of our other department directors. Our live chat is always going during business hours. Our Facebook Messenger page has a business hours time frame, as well as even Google Messenger. So there's so many different ways you can reach us. Just keep in mind, if we are closed, we are not monitoring those things. So make sure
somebody does have to sleep at
yes,
night.
Absolutely. So we are not open. We are not monitoring those things, but we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Wonderful.
But several different ways to reach us.
Well, Breann, thank you so much for coming out to the Radio Ranch. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. The Lord and weather willing, we'll be back next week.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.